Ever wondered what happens when etiquette takes a backseat on the green? Picture this. Players trading in their neat attire and polite gestures for chaotic antics during high-stake games. This is when the silence shatters. The rules go out the window, and fair play takes a wild detour. Let's dive into the hilarious and unexpected moments that unfold when good manners tee off for a wild ride. Number 5. Dustin Doden changes the numbers 2023. This wasn't about nerves or noise or rivalries. This was straight-up cheating. Justin Doden at the Ottawa Open in 2023 was fighting for his spot on the PGA Tour Canada leaderboard. He was chasing the cut line, hovering around it, needing just the right mix of scores to stay in contention. He finished the round and handed in a card that showed a par on a hole that video review later revealed had been a double bogey. At first, nothing happened. The card went through normal checks, but eagle-eyed officials started connecting footage to numbers and spotted the issue. He marked a 4 when he hit a 6. That tiny scribble was enough to set off a full investigation. By the time the truth had come out, Doden had already signed his name and walked off with a different score than what he had earned. The news hit social media fast. Golf fans didn't hold back. Everyone from local papers to PGA officials chimed in about the seriousness of the offense. Cheating in golf hits harder than in most sports because players self-police scorecards. There is no ref standing behind you on every hole. You call penalties on yourself and your playing partners check your card. That trust is sacred in the game. Doden released a statement admitting he had altered the score. Said he regretted the decision and accepted whatever consequences came next. He apologized to the tournament staff, the players, and the fans. But that apology came only after he got caught. That action ended up overshadowing the rest of the event and left his reputation stained among peers who once saw him as just another journeyman trying to break through. He was removed from the tournament standings. Officials confirmed the original score and released the footage to clarify the ruling. Number 4. John Daly tees off after a bender, 2016.
I used to be able to shoot pool really good when I had a great buzz going. But if you get me sober and play pool, I wouldn't make a ball.
John Daly is known for a lot of things. Bombing drives from the tips, chain smoking during practice rounds, rocking pants so loud that they echo. But nothing painted a picture of Daly better than his own confession about playing tournament golf while still buzzed from the night before. Back in 2016, he gave an interview where he walked through what sounded like a regular routine for him. Staying up all night, party hard, hit the casino, sip some drinks, then roll into the clubhouse with bloodshot eyes and a tee time staring him down. He said he'd arrive with just enough time to throw on a glove, grab a driver, and get to the first tee without even pretending to warm up. This wasn't some throwaway moment. This was a guy with multiple PGA wins, a British Open champion, talking about professional rounds with zero prep and a lingering hangover. His fans already saw him as a rebel, a guy who never fit the clean-cut mold of the PGA. But hearing it straight from him, unfiltered, raw, with all that rough edges, made it even more jarring. Daly didn't hide behind a PR spin either. He talked about being addicted to the chaos, about thriving in that off-kilter headspace. No nutrition plans, no swing coaches. Just raw talent, beer guts, and gut feelings. When you stack that up against today's robotic routines, stat tracking, and swing analyzers, it made Daly look like he belonged to another era. Like a time traveler who brought 90s rock star energy into a sport that was trying hard to clean up. He played multiple rounds under these conditions. Sponsors still keep backing him due to his crowd draw. Number 3. Patrick Reed versus the Sand, 2019.
Intended line of play. He cannot remove or press down loose soil or sand.
Back in the 2019 Hero World Challenge, Patrick Reed was grinding through a practice round when a camera zoomed in on a moment that would haunt him for years. In a waste bunker, Reed was seen taking 2 practice swings where his club head brushed away sand from behind the ball. A small motion, But in golf, a small edge is a big deal. The rules state clearly, if you improve your lie in a bunker, even accidentally, that's a penalty. 2 strokes, no debate. Officials watched the footage and immediately slapped him with it. But the real fallout came not from the rulebook, but from the court of public opinion. Reed doubled down, said he didn't mean to do it, said the camera angle made it look worse than it was, said if he had known it was happening, he would have corrected it right away. But the backlash came in fast and ugly. Social media roasted him with slow-mo replays and snarky memes. Pro players weren't quite either. Brooks Koepka and Cameron Smith both went on record saying they wouldn't have done the same thing. For Reed, this incident didn't exist in a vacuum. He already had a history. A reputation for bending rules and clashing with teammates followed him around from his college days to Ryder Cups. The sand sweep gave people a new reason to bring all that back to the surface. It showed up in press conferences, fan signs, and commentary debates for months after. The PGA Tour didn't issue for the discipline. His world ranking took a noticeable drop in the weeks after. Number 2, Ricky Fowler snaps at the gallery. 2024. At the 2024 Players' Championship, Ricky Fowler was working his way into the final stretch. The 16th hole was playing long and the wind was swirling, and tensions were high. He was lining up a critical tee shot when a fan decided it was the perfect moment to belt out something from the ropes. Loud, sudden, and completely out of place. Fowler stopped his swing, stepped back, and looked over with a glare that could melt steel. Then came the shot. "Hey you!" directed right at the guy who'd just thrown his rhythm off. The gallery felt silent fast, and Fowler took a moment to reset before launching the ball down the fairway. The shot ended up fine, but that flash of anger stuck with fans and cameras. Ricky has long been the poster boy for cool, calm, and collected. His image is polished down to his Puma gear and polite interviews. He signs autographs for kids, poses for photos with fans, and rarely makes a scene. That's what made this outburst feel so sharp, so unexpected. Some speculate the noise was deliberate, maybe even an attempt to rattle him in a crucial moment. Others said it was just a drunk fan with bad timing. But whatever it was, it sent Fowler off script for just long enough to make headlines. He didn't apologize, and the PGA didn't discipline him. But the footage replayed all weekend as analysts debate how much outside noise a player should tolerate and how far can they go to call it out. Tournament organizers increased marshals near tee boxes after that. The fan was escorted from the grounds. Number 1, Robert Garrigus doping, 2019. Robert Garrigus had played in majors, held his PGA Tour card, and knocked it around with the best of them. But in 2019, his season got interrupted in the least expected way. Garrigus was suspended after failing a dope test. The banned substance? The crazy plan. Not a performance enhancer, just straight up the known grass. At the time, it caught people off guard. Garrigus was the first player suspended under the PGA Tour's updated anti-doping policy to admit publicly what triggered the penalty. He didn't duck from it. He had flat out said he smoked. He didn't try to spin it or sugarcoat the story. The tour handed him a 3-month suspension. During that time, he stayed active on social media talking about getting healthy and said that he was working on himself. But fans were split. Some mocked the punishment, saying it didn't even affect his performance. Others pointed out to the strict rules every player signs up for. It sparked a debate the tour hadn't expected. The suspension didn't derail Garrigus permanently, but it stuck to his name like glue. Every interview after had that cloud hanging over it. He returned to competition, but the story never faded. He went on to request changes in the policy, saying this plan shouldn't be on the banned list. The PGA didn't move. His case became the blueprint for how the tour handles things that fall outside the traditional rulebook. Should the PGA Tour rethink its stance on the use of known grass types if it doesn't boost players' performance? Like, comment your take, and don't forget to subscribe for a hole in one.